How personality through the process of socialization was the topic which we have seen in the yesterday's class or last class. Socialization is a process whereby we come to know about our culture. How many times you have to eat food, what dress you have to wear, at what time you should wake up, what time you have to go to sleep, whom to marry, whom not to marry. Everything is told to us by people like parents, teachers, and friends. They are called as primary groups. They are the group with which we have very close connection, close communication. Then, when we are aging, we come across the larger society. We come across people whom we are not so familiar with. We come to know about what they are expecting from us and what we should do. Take, for example, you are traveling in a bus. You know that you should do something which will be acceptable to all others who are in the bus. You are going to a cinema theater, you wanted to take ticket and you are standing in the ticket counter. There is a queue which is standing, right? You don't, in the middle of the queue, you don't go and join. Okay, you stand as the last person. Most of us will do this. We stand as the last person. Why do you stand as the last person in the queue? Do you know anyone who is standing in front of you? You don't know anyone. You don't know the ticket giver. You don't know the people who are waiting for getting the ticket. But you respect them or not. You respect them. And you think that you have to do something which they expect you to do. You do something which you are expected to do. The expectation first is given by our parents. They are expecting us when we were children, they were expecting us to eat food properly. Now, when you got aged, you are going to school, you are going to college, you eat more. And they are telling, stop, don't eat more. The same parents who were crying when you did not eat are those who are crying because you eat more. So, you come to know that what has to be done only through our agents of socialization. They tell you this is the role of the boy, this is the role of the girl, this is the boy's thing, this is the girl's thing. When a boy is going to kitchen, mother is telling this is not your place. When the girl is refusing to come to kitchen, she says that this is your place. So what has to be done by a particular gender is told by our society. Now, when same-sex marriage is coming as a big debate in the Supreme Court of India today, you listen to the arguments put forward by the lawyers. They say that yesterday, last class only I told, marriage is not a union, marriage is an institution. Union is a different, institution is different. Union means the choice of two individuals to stay together. Institution means not just two individuals concerned, other people also will come in the picture. They will come in the picture. For example, the family wishes will come, the societal approval will come. Society will approve something which is natural, will disapprove something which is unnatural. Society will approve something which is natural, will disapprove something which is unnatural. What is natural? Sexual orientation between two people of opposite gender is natural. Not just applicable to human, but also non-human, all living species. All living species, may it be insect, may it be birds, may it be animals, all living species have a natural sexual orientation between the opposite genders. And this is also acceptable to the human species, that there is a natural sexual orientation between people belonging to opposite gender. So what is natural, that is moral, according to society. What is natural, that is moral. Now, same-sex marriage is against the nature. Therefore, same-sex marriage is called unnatural, hence immoral by the larger society. So when parents don't accept, when the society don't accept, the union cannot be called as marriage, even though it is acceptable to both the parties. If it is not acceptable to the group, if it is not acceptable to the primary group, that is family, if it is not acceptable to the larger society, this cannot be called as institution. This cannot be called as marriage. It can be called as only union, not marriage. So we come to know what should be our choice. Our choices are not decided by our own choice. Our choices are made by the society only. Who told you that? Why did you choose IAS? Whether you were already IAS, that you know about IAS, and you learn that it is the topmost job in the world, it is the most powerful job in the country. Who told? How did you come to know about IAS? You tell me. Other people are telling. Friend told IAS, family told IAS, society told IAS, and therefore you say IAS. Now this is possible. After 50 years, they say IAS is worst job. Society says IAS is the least important job. Nobody will like to prepare for this examination. So our selection of civil services examination, do you think that it is your personal choice? Was it your personal choice? Society conditioned your mind. Collector is the topmost job. Collector is the highest job. That is a traffic. Traffic was stopped. The traffic policeman stopped the traffic. 1 kilometer long vehicle traffic was stopped. One person standing in the front was asking the traffic policeman, "Why are you stopping?" He says, "The governor is coming, which is why we are blocking the traffic." He says, "Is governor bigger than collector that you are stopping the traffic?" Normally, we tell, our friend is telling, "See, I won't come to cinema and all because I have an important work." Ah, you are big collector, very collector. Normally, we used to tell this or not. யாராவது ஒருத்தர் somebody says எனக்கு ஒரு வேலை இருக்கு, I have some job na, we say பெரிய collector வேலை. அப்ப பெரிய means collector, big collector job is a bigger job. Social creation it is. It is not real. It is not real. What is your opinion about your family? Tell me about your family. Do you love your family? Do you really think that your parents are the best parents in the world? Do you think that your parents are the best parents in the world? Most of us say yes. God's gift. Your parents are telling about you. Do you think that really you are a gift of God? அவ்வளோ பெரிய பொக்கிஷமா? பொய் தானே? Simple lie. And what do you think about your parents? Best parents. That you will know only when you stay in somebody else's house. 10 houses you should live. Thereafter you have to come to a conclusion that my house is the best house. You say my brother is the best brother, my sister is the best sister, to the most beloved sister, to the most beloved brother, greeting card கொடுக்கும்போது அவ்வளோ எழுதி எழுதி கொடுப்பாங்க. பார்க்கும்போதே பொய் தானே? You are supposed to think in that way, which is why you are thinking. Really, your parents are not the best parents in the world. Really, you are not the best child in the world. But you are supposed to think that you are the best child. Your parents are supposed to think that you are the best child. And you are supposed to think that your parents are the best parents, which is why you think. So your thinking is not your own thinking. Your thinking is somebody else thinking. And who is that somebody else? Society. So society tells you what you should eat. Today is Friday. Today is Tuesday. You should not eat non-vegetarian food. Who says? Society says. Whenever we go to the school, before going to the school, parents used to tell, put this vibhuti on the forehead and go. Sometimes we don't. Go to the school, teacher says, why? Why you did not put this vibhuti? Right? So you are told to wear a religious symbol by others. You are told to eat a particular food by others. You are told to wear. Why the bride and the bridegroom invariably wears silk clothes on the day of marriage? Why they will not? They can't marry if they wear a cotton cloth. Why should they wear costly clothes? First of all, why you should wear this garland and all? Yeah, in police station, marriage is happening. Okay, what the inspector says? Bring two garlands. The girl is told to put on the neck of the boy. The boy is told to put on the around the neck of the girl. Yeah, அது இல்லைன்னா கல்யாணம் இல்லையா? Simply tying the knot is what is marriage. Who told that one should tie the tali around the neck? Who told? Who should tie the tali around the neck of whom? Who told? Was there any doubt raised by a bride or bridegroom on the day of marriage? Who should tie this tali around whose neck? No doubt, no. How did you come to know? If you go and ask them, have you married? Had you have whether you married already? That you came to know? No. Which means you go to some marriage, you see there the boy is tying the tali around the neck of the girl. You go to another marriage, you go to another marriage. So everybody is doing something which is not their own thing. They are doing something which is told by somebody else, and that somebody else's society. So you are not thinking your own thoughts. You are not acting your own action. You are not feeling your own feeling. Your thinking, your action, your feeling is created by society. Who told that when you clear the examination, you should jump in joy? Who told that when you fail in the examination, you should cry? UPSC told. When we give your roll number, you should laugh. When your roll number is not there, you should cry. Whether UPSC told? Is there any IPC or CRPC which tells this? Is there any Supreme Court verdict on this? When should you cry? When should you not cry? Then how did you come to know? How did you come to know? What is success? What is failure? Who defines? Who defines what is success? What is failure? Are you defining? Or the society is defining? One who is having bank balance, he is successful. One who is not having bank balance, he is failure. Whose evaluation is this? Whose judgment is this? Societal judgment. So I come to know about society through whom? Parents, teachers, peer groups. And the process of learning about what society is wanting us to do is called socialization. Starts with the birth of the person, ends with the death of the person. It's a lifelong process. It's a lifelong process. There are many stages of socialization. There are many stages of socialization. play stage socialization, game stage socialization. The stages of socialization was told by one scholar named G.H. Mead. In the play stage socialization, the children will play the role. For example, police thief. So one child will play the role of police, another child will play the role of a thief. They are just imitating. Two children will play, one the role of police, another the role of thief. Okay. They don't have full understanding of police, full understanding of thief. They don't have full understanding of doctor, full understanding of patient. But they do this. They play this. I am the doctor, you are the patient. They take one sharp thing, they insert into the the hand of another person and say that I am the doctor, I am giving injection to you. The child playing the role of doctor will give plain water, tell that patient child to drink. If you observe this, you will understand this. That without full understanding of the role of doctor and the patient, they will play. They'll imitate because they have gone to the hospital where they have seen the doctor and what and all doctor did to the child when the child was sick. That same thing will be imitated by the child at home with its siblings. Many years back, I went to my sister's house. Okay, many years. Her daughter that time was going to the pre-KG school. Pre-KG. In the pre-KG school, she was taught ABCD. After the class is over, she used to come to the home and she used to make the grandparents sit on the floor. She'll go to the board which was fitted on the wall and she used to teach. Old grandparents will have to sit on the floor and she turns like a teacher. Incidentally, I was going to see the child, my sister's child. When she saw me, she told, you also sit. I also sat very quietly. She turns to the board. She says, yay. She turns and we have to recite yay. Yay for apple. We should say A for apple. She is telling. A for apple. Don't shout. B for ball. Don't shout. C for cat. Don't shout. Nobody is shouting. Only we three are there. Why this girl is telling in between don't shout, don't shout? Then only realize that in the real class, when the teacher is turning towards the blackboard, the children will be shouting. She says, A for apple, don't shout. B for ball, don't shout. C for cat, don't shout. But this little child did not have a full understanding that only when somebody is shouting, you should say don't shout. She thinks that when A for apple is told, next word is don't shout. When B for ball is told, next word is don't shout. And that little girl today is going to +2, preparing for NEET examination. I was telling, you did that to us. She was laughing. So the school, she knows teacher should teach and student should listen, but she does not understand that only when somebody is shouting, you should say don't shout. And this is what is called as play stage. Without full understanding, just mimicking the teacher. Mimicking the teacher. That is called as play stage. Game stage, you become fully aware of your role. You know that you have grown physically, you have grown mentally, you have grown. So you know what should be done, what should not be done. Really, you become that teacher. Really, you become that doctor. Really, you become the what police. That you have a full understanding from your perspective, from the thief's perspective, and from the society's perspective. So a comprehensive understanding you get, after which you are taking up the role, that is called as play stage. The real game, that is called as game stage. The real game you are playing. So through this only, first through imitation we come to know only roughly, but after some time only we come to know real role. Really we take up the role, really we play the role. It is like probationary period, training period for you. That in the Labasna, when you have to go to eat food, you have to wear a formal dress. You know that or not? Should put the shirt, you should properly wear the tie, you should put the coat and all, and then go eat idli. இப்ப மாதிரிலாம் கிடையாது. You have dress code. Without dress code, you cannot enter the canteen. My students who are in SP level officers, they used to tell. One Mr. Ankit Ashokan was telling me, when I went to see him in the NPA, National Police Academy, I was there in Hyderabad to attend the wedding of our student Dr. Arvind, Indian Foreign Service. He is now working in Beijing, right? So he is doctor turned IFS officer. My student, first attempt he got IFS, first attempt, doctor, MBBS doctor from Stanley Medical College. So he invited me for his wedding in Hyderabad, and the Hyderabad NPA, 5 of our students were undergoing training in NP, 5 students. We went there. I went there, and the training center there was, he told, Mr. Ankit told that, sir, around 200 acres of training center. So he was telling that initially, sir, when we got selected, we came. The ground exercise will start by 4 o'clock in the morning. It will be over by 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, they'll give us a brief time where we have to go take bath and go to the mess, eat food, then go to the lecture hall. And 10 minutes only they'll give for us to take food. 10 minutes. We entered there. It's like 5-star hotel where they have kept hundreds of food items. I was just roaming around to see what and all they have kept. 10 minutes over, they called us. Without eating anything, we have to go. The next day, I was about to eat many things, but time was not there. Then I decided, first counter, first day, second counter, second day, third counter, third day. So we were not given training before. Only when we went to NPA, we were trained how to eat food in 10 minutes. He was telling, sir, I am a foodie. I like eating food. But 10 minutes, 100 items they are keeping. Even to see that, it takes 10 minutes. How to eat that? So you are being trained. How to hold your spoon, they are training us. How to use the knife, they are training us. All type of food they are keeping, because when we serve in some other states, we should be accustomed to that food as well. So it's a training basically. Body training, mind training, how to eat food training, how to wear uniform training, how to polish the shoe and all will have to be in full polish, and that is done by some people. Each and every trainee will be given an assistant who will do all these polishing, pressing the uniform, everything. So they used to come, take our clothes and neatly do that pressing and all, shoe polish. They are giving us training that when we become independent charge police officer, how we should conduct ourselves in front of those people who are below us. So in Labasna, socialization is happening to you. In NPA, National Police Academy, socialization will happen to you. You can't walk on the road in NPA. You'll be black marked if you walk on the road, because road is meant for vehicle traffic, not for human being. Then where human beings should walk? There is one pedestrian path on which only you have to walk. I said, nobody is there to see us, then who will catch us? Sir, every tree is having a CCTV camera. Tomorrow I will be called by the director. You violated the norms of the institution. So tomorrow you have to run 8 kilometers. You have to run with the AK-56. AK-56 weight 10 kilogram. I should lift like this and we have to run 8 kilometers. Whether I am running 8 kilometers or not, another person will come along with me, run 8 kilometers to see whether I am running or not. He will also have to run 8 kilometers. So you have to strictly obey the instruction given by the institution, is the socialization which we are getting through the process of training. Everywhere it is training. In America, a friend of mine was telling this. There, the pregnant woman will have to go with her husband for medical care. They will assess the weight of the baby inside. Suppose the baby weight is 1 kilogram. Initially, the doctor will tie 1 kilogram weight around the waist of the husband and tell him to walk, bend down, do all sorts of work which the wife will be doing, like cleaning the house, all these things, to make the husband realize how difficult it will be. Now the baby is fully grown, it is 3 kilogram. They will put the weight 3 kilogram around the waist of this person, husband, and tell him to walk. See how difficult it is. You should realize the pain of your wife. Then only you'll support her. So they are giving training to parent the child. Parenting training. Here and all trial and error. There they give proper training how to be a parent. How to be a parent. How to rear the baby. How to hold the baby. எல்லாம் அப்படி இல்லை. How men will hold the baby. They will not give the newborn child to the men. Have you seen this in the hospital? They don't give to men because men don't know how to handle the baby. கீழே போட்டுருவான். How to hold the head of the baby. Everything is trained there, American. That is why he says superpower it is. He says every training is given to us. When the this thing checkup time comes, how here and all, husbands rarely go because every husband is collector. வேற வேலை இருக்குதுல்ல அவனுக்கு. There அப்படி இல்லை. Husband should come. கம்பெனியில் லீவு கொடுப்பாங்க, இங்க கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஒய்ஃபுக்கு மெடிக்கல் செக்அப், நீ போய் முதல்ல மெடிக்கல் செக்அப் பண்ணு, உன் சீட்டை கிழிச்சிருவாங்கிறான். Here first you have to go and consult a psychiatrist to take the wife for medical checkup. You wanted leave, you better go and consult a psychiatrist. Are you mad? Who will do your work? The employer will threaten. Here, there they will give leave. Up small things also is being trained. So everywhere you come to know what you should do, what you should not do. Simple. Whether you go to Labasna, whether you go to NPA or you go to America, you are being trained. You are learning. Life is a process of learning. You have to learn. You take a role. When you pass the examination, you become IPS officer, you become IAS officer, you take the role. After passing, my students are coming. No, they are sitting in one standard position in the car. One standard position is there for them in the car, in the official car. There only they sit. They don't sit this side, just back side of the driver. They don't sit. They just sit, diagonal to the uh, driver, not directly behind the driver. I don't know who told this. When I try to go and sit in their place, they say, "Sir, come there." Why? What is the difference? No, sir. We have been trained to sit there only. Nappa idu. How you have to tie the shoe? You have been trained. Where how to sit on the chair? You are being trained. Where to sit in the car? You are being trained. Everywhere you are being trained. Yes, sir. We wanted to become like that only. The system wanted us to become that only. That we are expected to do something and we have to do that thing. After becoming IAS, IPS, you don't pick up your luggage, no. அப்படி luggage எல்லாம் straight நீங்க வரல. இப்போ there is no difference between us and the porter. Sometimes porter is feeling pity on us. ஏன் இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்படுற? After becoming IPS, you just walk like nothing is with you. Because people behind you will carry all the big luggages. Car திறந்து விடுறது. You don't open the car of your own. There is a person who is going to open the door, close the door, and you wait. Many officers I have seen, they will not come out. They'll wait for the driver to go around and open the door. Till then, they'll be sitting inside. And they were also telling me, you don't open the door, he will come open the door. I'm not used to that, but they insist me, sir, open பண்ணாதீங்க sir, அவர் வந்து open பண்ணுவாரு. Protocol. Suddenly you will change. If I ask you, come talk to the students, sir, protocol, sir. Now, after becoming IPS, after becoming IAS, you have a standard role to perform, you have to perform. You can't change that for me, you can't change that for anyone else. You have to. So socialization is this, learning what you should do, what you should not do from the perspective of the others. From the perspective of others. Okay. August Comte we have seen, functionalism we have seen, and this person, very, very important. Structure functionalism in sociology. Who used structure functionalism? Biologist, like Spencer. Structure functionalism in sociology was used by Emile Durkheim, who is the first thinker who will be studied by us in unit number 4. Very, very important. Every year he will come in UPSC question. He is a French sociologist, right? He is a French sociologist. He was very much influenced by many. Who is the father of sociology? Auguste Comte. Auguste Comte influenced Durkheim. Spencer also influenced Durkheim. So Emile Durkheim is called as the father of modern sociology. If Auguste Comte is called the father of sociology, Emile Durkheim is called the father of modern sociology. Modern sociology. Emile Durkheim was very much concerned about society. He loves society like anything. He loves group like anything. For Emile Durkheim, society is bigger than individual. Individual is living for the sake of the society. Individual lives for the sake of the society. So individual is inferior, society is superior. Now individual will be like a programmed robot. Individual will be like a programmed robot, that what society wanted, that individual will do. Society is the master, individual is the slave. Now, why should you say like this? You say like this because you belong to a group. He belongs to Jewish community. In Jew community, group is more important than individual. So how his background is influencing his thinking? In a Jew family, group is more important than the individual. So that is why Durkheim gives importance to group. Durkheim says that all individuals will come together, they form a group. We are all coming together and we form a group. We all come together, we form a group. Once the group is formed, the group becomes superior, we are only subordinate. Group becomes boss. So group is made out of individuals only. But once group is formed, group becomes superior, individual becomes inferior. The parts of the body, the parts of the body they come together from the whole body. But the whole body is more than the parts of the body. Whole is more than the sum of parts. Are you able to understand this? Very, very important understanding, which will immensely help your sociology understanding. The cells are coming together, organ is formed. Organ is bigger than the number of cells. All the cells are coming together, heart is formed. Now you address it as heart, not sum total of cells. Getting this point or not? I come as a teacher, you all come individually as student, we come together to create classroom. But this class is bigger than you and me. Even I cannot change the class, you cannot change the class, because even though we only make the class, class is bigger than you plus me. So individuals are coming together to form the group. Once group is formed, group is bigger than the sum of the individuals. This is what is structure functionalism. There are many parts. The parts are connected to each other according to a particular pattern or not. Whether lung is here, whether stomach is here, there is a particular part in a particular place, and that particular part will do a particular job. No other part can do the job of the lung except lung. Eye is to see, ear is to hear, brain is to think. Okay, every part is having a particular function. Eye cannot be used for hearing, ear cannot be used for seeing. So that part is having a particular role. That part is connected to another part. They form a whole, and that whole is more than the sum of the parts. We call this not as lungs plus heart plus stomach plus intestine plus bladder plus liver. We call this as human body. Human body is formed only by parts, but once formed, thereafter, human body becomes bigger than the parts of the body. Once you join IAS, IAS is bigger than you. Yes or no? It is not collector. It is not you. It is collector. You are the collector, but collector is bigger than you because you can be changed, but another person will come. So this understanding that there are present parts and the parts are coming together, they form a whole. I told that there are building blocks. Small blocks will be there. You build that, it becomes a huge thing, a full thing. And that full thing is bigger than the sum of small things. This is what is Durkheim sociology. That group is bigger than the individual. Though individual together forms the group, but the group or society is bigger than the sum of the individuals. Very, very important. So that is why he always gives importance to not individual mind, but mind of the group. He uses the term mind. Instead of mind, you can use the term consciousness. Instead of group, you can use the term collective. So group mind is called as collective consciousness. We all do what the collective mind tells us to do. We all think what the collective mind tells us to think. So my mind is not my own mind. My mind is controlled by the group mind. That is why in the group, my individual mind is lost. In a group, my individual mind is lost. You all agree to the society. Society says everyone should marry. So that is why everyone marries. I wonder whether anyone knows the reason for marriage. You go and ask a person, if you are going to marry, you just to do this thing next time. Okay. When the boy is about to marry the girl, you ask the boy or the girl, why do you marry? Will they be able to give you a concrete answer for that? Parents told. You call their parents, why should they marry? Our parents told. You call their parents, why should people marry? Their parents told. Nobody does what they wanted to do. They are being told by somebody and they do that thing. So that is why I told success or failure itself is not the individual definition, it is social definition. One who is dropping out of the school should be called as a failure by society. But one who dropped out of the school became Bill Gates later. There are one or two individuals who may challenge the society. But 99.9% of the people living in the society will agree to what society says. If you ask Emil Durkheim, Bill Gates, without being going to school, a school dropout, became billionaire, Durkheim will say he is a deviant fellow. And we are all normal. So whoever does what society says, they are called as normal. Whoever does what society is not telling or what society says they are doing something opposite, they should be called as abnormal. So normal is what is told by society, abnormal is what is not told by society. Eating 3 times a day is told by society, so eating 3 times a day is normal. Marrying is normal. Going to school is normal. Respecting parents is normal. Going to temple is normal. Believing in the power of God is normal. So normal is what is suggested by society. Abnormal is what is rejected by society. Now you understand that everything for Durkheim is society. So he says, society tells you what to think, society tells you what to feel, society tells you what to do. You are like a programmed robot, program already written, so you act like that. Now in this, you also study about how for Emil Durkheim, suicide is not the act of individual mind. Suicide is the act of the social mind. If you go and ask Emil Durkheim why a person commits suicide, he would say he commits suicide because he has been told to commit suicide by society. Why people commit suicide? After 12th exam result came, few people committed suicide. After NEET result came, few people will commit suicide. Why should they commit suicide? Because society wanted them to commit suicide. When people fail in an exam, parents will tell, "Illa yen uyiroda irukra? Why are you alive?" Seeing the result failed, we laugh. They come and tell you, "Why are you laughing? You failed. You should not laugh. You should not smile." So what should I do when I fail? Society tells, "Cry." I cry. Even though I don't want to cry, but society tells me to cry, which is why I'm crying. So when you go to a party, you should smile, you should laugh, you should enjoy. When you go to see somebody who has been admitted in the intensive care unit, you should cry. Whether I should cry or I should not cry, whether I should smile or I should not smile, whether I should be alive or I should not be alive, everything is told by society. When psychology told that suicide is the act of the mind of the individual, but Durkheim says society wanted this person to commit suicide. That is why he committed suicide. So society pushes the individual to commit suicide. Again and again, the parents are telling, the group is telling, Bhumi ki bharam, dead weight to the planet Earth. So what is the meaning of that? இடத்த காலி பண்ணு. That is what is the thing. So this is what is Durkheim's sociology, that he gives everything to society. Why he wanted to give everything to society? Because he is living in that situation where the society was in the crisis. Individualism was at the peak. He wanted that France to be restored. France was a peaceful society. That French society should be recreated as a peaceful society, as a happy society. People did not give importance to the group, they gave importance to their own individual self. They became greedy, they became corrupt. So that is why crisis happened in France, confusion in France. Now, I should recreate that French society, which will be a place for happiness. For that, I will emphasize on group rather than individual. Collectivism against individualism is the need of the time in France. He was living in 19th century. So 19th century France had problems because of this, that individualism was skyrocketing, corruption was at the peak, everywhere corruption, bureaucratic corruption, military corruption, politician corruption, private company corruption, everywhere selfishness. Be selfless. Worship your society. Be thankful to your society, because it is society which gave you everything you had. You forgot the society, became selfish. That is why society of France had so many problems that time. So to solve the problems, he wanted people to worship France. To solve the problems, he wanted people to worship France. That is why he gives too much of importance to society. So Durkheim's sociology, therefore, is a sociology which gives utmost importance to society rather than individual. Right? So this is about Emile Durkheim's sociology. Right? So next thinker, little bit advanced person, we will take it freshly. What today we have seen, socialization, I have again narrated. Socialization is learning. Everywhere it is learning, whether it is academy, NPA or Labasna, wherever you go, training is happening to you. Then we spoke about how Emile Durkheim's sociology is more giving importance to the group rather than individual, because all problems in France was because of too much individualism. So he wanted people to worship society to solve the problems in France. We'll stop here today. In the next class, we'll take up the next thinker. Right? All the best. Thank you.